Wookiee bartenders 20% or more. No droids, no bounty hunters, no Raylos, no Ray Nobodies, no Kyle Ron fans of any kind. We do Star Wars here for the love of Star Wars. That's why we're here. And Indiana Jones and respect for George Lucas and everything else. And Harrison Ford and Mark Hamill and Carrie Fisher. God bless your soul. Anyway, and remember, no Disney Canon fans. If you start a fight, you take it out in the alley. Gunfights, you take this shit out in the street. We got that all situated. You know who I am. I am the Chaos Coordinator, the Wookiee Wrangler, and the Scoundrel Scheduler. So here we are. While I talk to you guys, hey, Santa Dave, I didn't get the one I wanted. I wanted the one, hey, man, Piranha. I didn't get the one I wanted. I got the Kenner, this was the Target version. Hey, Votum Darkstar. So, she came with, I guess, this credit thing. I don't know what it is. But, here she is. Here's Cara Dune. I am going to get the Black Series one. But this is good. She'll go good with the rest of everything else. So while I get her out, because I'm a collector that actually likes to look at them displayed. So while I talk, we will, okay, here's her rifle. This is based on the Browning BAR, I can tell you that right now. I've seen one up close. I've actually picked one up. You can actually buy fully automatic Browning automatic rifles. They were the machine gun squad machine gun for the troops during World War II. It's got the modifications here, but that is a Browning automatic rifle, and it was a rifle invented back during World War I. And our troops used it during World War I. It's famous in World War II, and they're heavy. I mean, they're heavy. And yes, you can get one if you want the ATF showing up at your house every week to make sure that you're not using it for nefarious purposes. Because let me tell you something. That action is 100 years old. That action is still state of the art. Same thing with the 1911 frame that John Moses Browning created, the 1911. That gun might not carry 10, 15 in the magazine, but it still is the best pistol frame and action in the world. But yeah, this is that's what that looks like. That looks like a Browning automatic rifle. And we have a knife. This looks like the Marine Corps BAR. We've got several. You see that? And then Kara's pistol, her blaster pistol, which, all right, looks like a Luger. Or maybe some sort of Mauser, old school German Mauser, or Ruger Mark V. My dad had one, but you know, it's a long, thin barrel. Could be based off of Makarov. Yeah, I mean, that's what, when you look at these are all basically based on real life weapons. So, yeah, I mean, but like I said, I picked them up. I picked up the BAR, and she looks pretty cool. I mean, I wanted the other one, but I only have $200, and this was the only one he had, so I just bought it. But I gotta get her, when I get her upstairs, I'll set her up. But I'm pretty proud of this. She'll look good with Han. I'll put her up there with Han, you know, in his I've got the Endor outfit. So, okay, now we're done with that. Now let's talk about what Doomcock. If you haven't seen Doomcock's video, go watch it. A lot more about Kennedy's coming out. And the latest is she hired Phoebe Waller-Bridge and cast her in Indy 5 without telling anybody. And that was the straw, they said, that broke the camel's back. This is my problem with that, with that rumor. Harrison Ford has been talking for a year about getting the movie going. And as far as I know, cameras are set to roll in July. Okay? So this rumor kind of flies in the face of what we know. I don't know why whoever put this out there is putting it out there, but they might be, I mean, maybe it's Steven Spielberg's people, because Spielberg plays a prominent role in the rumor. I mean, Doomcock theorizes that they're going to try to cuck Han Solo, or Indiana Jones. They already cucked Han Solo. I don't buy that. I don't think Harrison would put up with that. I don't think James Mangold would either. I don't see this casting as being something that Kennedy really had anything to do with. This is my opinion. All right. And I'm trying to figure this out, and it makes me wonder if they're going to remove her from Indy 5 going forward. Okay. Now, I know that it's been placed in a holding pattern for a while, and it's sad that it has been, and it's sad for one reason. I want Harrison Ford to feel like he's got this. That looks stupid. That he can say goodbye to Indy too. All right, he got to say goodbye to Deckard. He got to say goodbye to Han, not in the way he should have. And I would bet he wasn't as happy with that as a lot of people think he was. Hey, old redneck nerd. But I'm not necessarily buying this being the last straw. I would say that the last straw was probably Gina, and the subsequent holy shit when they realized the backlash. I'm not saying Phoebe Waller-Bridge is a good addition to Indiana Jones, but I don't see her doing any more harm. I don't think she could. And the reason why is I think that, like I said before, the person who has to be the happiest is Harrison Ford. He's not happy, that movie's not going anywhere. He'll walk away. Okay, even if he wants to make it, he will walk away. And the reason is, why would he want to stay if they're just, gonna fuck with that character too? All right. So anyway, but it's interesting because now they're bringing up Indy 5. What I think is starting to set up is that she may be removing herself from Indy 5. The thing I do find interesting, and so I give this rumor a 50-50, because it just, knowing what they've announced officially and knowing what Harrison Ford has said about it, because every time they talk to him about Indy 5 or mention it, I want to see what he has to say, because he's the only one I trust, okay? And as well, we should all. What did he say about it before I freak out? The thing I do believe is that she's lost a lot of clout. And this rumor is very, very specific. She's lost a lot of clout. People at Disney don't respect her anymore. She can't protect people. Is she out? I don't know. Is she staying? No, she's not staying. I mean, I think what's happening is whoever out there is getting people ready to watch her leave the indie project. They don't need her. And if she doesn't, the only reason why she's there is to save face. Again, remember, they're not going to fire her. We're not going to get the big, announcement. Disney is no longer working with Kathleen Kennedy in a press conference. She may get a float and a parade on the way out the door, but we all know what the truth is. So we can just sit there and, fucking phony, that's bullshit, Say what we're going to say, and that's what we'll say. My thing is, they're setting up Indy 5 to be taken away from her. And I don't think it has anything to do with casting Phoebe Waller-Bridge. Now the rumor said she's no longer allowed to touch Star Wars. And this is the big thing, because I talked about it today on Echo Base Network's Facebook page to someone who wanted to fight with me. They're thinking of taking Acolyte out of development and not doing it. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. That is huge. That is something I could see happening. That when I'm looking at this rumor, it's again, you're getting leaks that are half true. So the part about Phoebe Waller-Bridge and all that, probably not true, because that thing was official. I don't see Disney not seeing that coming. And let's go back to Spielberg walking away, because Doomcock did mention it. Spielberg walked away a while ago because of what happened with George. That's my theory. I'm not buying, they're cucking, Indy, so I'm leaving. I don't buy that. And he's still part of the production team. He's executive producer, which doesn't mean a lot, but he's still attached to it. Okay. I don't buy this cucking thing. The Phoebe Waller-Bridge issue that everybody has is, I understand it. She has said some really stupid fucking shit about James Bond. I don't think I would get along with her. I tell her to get the fuck over herself. It's like this. I was watching just bits and pieces of The Crown. I've never watched that show because I was never interested. But since Prince Philip died, I wanted to see what it was about. Watching Diana, and I used to be a fan and I'm not anymore. Watching Diana insist on basically flaunting everything she was given was appalling to me. The narcissism of her, the ungratefulness. Okay, then you've got the behavior of Princess Margaret. Oh my God. Always looking to have more people pay more attention to her than the Queen. So what she can do, she's gonna behave like an idiot. And she died much younger because of what she did to herself. The hangovers, the smoking, this and that, the wild behavior is not befitting even of a woman of her stature. Where she's not going to be queen, but you have loyalty to your family. I don't care if your family is, your dad's a shoemaker and your mom's a housewife. Honor thy father and mother. And I'm sorry if you're an ungrateful twat. Hey, I can't do anything about it. I really, really can't. But in watching all this and seeing how these, and it's always a woman, the only one in this whole situation as far as the royal family is concerned that is, well, no, I shouldn't say that. Charles is an ungrateful twat. And I think he knows that now. He was choking up tears on Saturday, so I think he knows. I mean, he's in his 70s now, and I think he gets it. You've got him, and you've got Harry, who married a demonic little brat. And there are people out there, and I'm going to say Phoebe Waller-Bridge is one of them, who are ungrateful. They have no idea what they have. Okay. And trying to cuck James Bond, they're going to ruin it. And I think this, all right, I'm going to say fine, go for it. Daniel Craig, who played a pretty decent Bond, I guess. I only saw Casino Royale. I haven't seen the other two because I've heard they were just bad, and I'm like, I'll stick with Connery and Roger Moore and Pierce Brosnan. Okay, I'm not gonna fuck this shit. Okay, having him cucked on the way out, and here's the deal. You've got a lot of guilty white females who think they're white saviors in Hollywood. Phoebe Waller-Bridge is one of them. And I understand why people were upset. But when you've got Harrison Ford, James Mangold, and I'm sorry, Frank Marshall, as part of the production team, their voices are a lot louder, okay, than hers or Kennedy's. Now, but again, the rumor surrounding how Kennedy got to where she got to with this Phoebe Waller-Bridge casting doesn't make any sense in what the legit news is saying. I think it had everything to do with firing Gina. Okay. This is actually a pretty good, well-made character, too. I mean, well-made, but I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it. I still prefer Black Series, and that was what I wanted, and I didn't get it, and I'm pissed, but I will get one day. If I can save up the money, I'll get a Black Series one, but I'll have her up in the indoor thing, because, maybe she was there. Maybe Cara Dune was on Endor. But I'm pretty convinced, though, about the other stuff. Taking away the Acolyte, not letting her go near Star Wars anymore, and all the rest of that stuff. And well, if something else happens, if something else falls apart, it was $90. The Black Series one was over 100. And the guy had advertised Black Series. I got this one. I wanted the Black Series. It's the one with the credit. Imperial credit accessory. And it's pretty. I mean, the back of the box. So yeah, I'm pretty proud of it. I mean, this is for it being the throwback Kenner vintage. It's pretty cool. She's it's Cara Dune for you, and she's gonna go in there and kick some major ass. But yeah, I really think we're close to an announcement. And what else did he say? He said basically the story group was about to be disbanded and gone. That's huge. If that's the case, I'll yub-nub on that because, like I said before, if they go before Kennedy, they were thrown under the bus. Okay? She threw them under the bus. When you look at that weird information dump on Reddit that we got, that was all from her saying, I didn't do anything wrong, I did a good job, no one understood, and it's all Pablo's fault. If that's, grain of salt, guys, grain of salt, like Doomcock says. But we will hear about them leaving. They won't be able to hide it. Okay. And Pablo will be gone. Trust me, I'll be yub-nubbing. I'll be doing this. Do, 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 do. I will. I won't be able to stop. I mean, the departure of that bastard has been a long time in coming. and he did it to himself. The only one I keep out of the whole fiasco is Leland Chi, and I bring him into a different creative group. All right, they need him. He's been there a long time. He's a good guy. He doesn't attack the fans, and I just tell him, look, we're not doing the High Republic. I mean, the High Republic is gone. Yeah, you're right, Perrin. You're right, Mad. But we just gotta wait and see. Okay, you know, I'm like, it's one of those things. I have a conundrum. There's a good wine named Conundrum too. They make a red, they make a Meritage, a red blend, and a Chardonnay, and that Meritage is top notch. It'll be, yeah. But watch, Pablo goes before her. I am going to laugh and my ass off. And the reason is this: we saw it coming. You, me, everybody. We saw it coming. Okay? We did. And Cameron Pasha basically said, you're being thrown told them they're going to be thrown under the bus. They don't believe it. They went after him on Twitter. And they're going after geeks and gamers. They're going after everybody. And it's like, I literally can't, understand why if everything's hunky-dory, but it's not. I mean, it can't be, So we just wait. We just sit and wait. And as more evidence piles up, more, it's more likely than not that it's true. And that's, I'm going to say, a really good thing for us. A really good thing for the fandom menace and everybody. Well, Mad, here's the deal. Pablo's been there the longest, I think, in the story group. And that music video I made mocking him, that first costume, that was what he was dressed in. He was an extra on Revenge of the Sith, okay? Which I caught him disparaging the prequels on Twitter when his Twitter account was public. And it's really interesting to me watching him, and I don't know who, I can't remember who it was, but someone just said, watching, oh cool, Cinedays, P90X is fun. I really like P90X a lot. Watching the video and looking at the pictures of him, he looks like he's a miserable human being, and nothing, hey Dominique, and nothing would make him happy. And that person's right. The guy isn't happy. He says he's a Star Wars fan, so what does he do? He attacks it and destroys it. Okay, he's like a cancerous tumor that got activated the moment George walked out the door. He goes after people that don't like him or that disagree with him. He basically treated Gina like shit because she dared to criticize the COVID lockdowns. It's like, shut up, shut up. It's all very interesting to me watching all this. And I'm really, really, really kind of flabbergasted that he's lasted as long. Oh, he's a bully. That's what he is. He's unhappy. I would speculate that his childhood wasn't a good time. I speculate that his father wasn't around, and if he was, his dad was probably real lazy. Didn't do a whole lot. I speculate that. He's a guy who ran away from the first home he ever knew because, daddy pissed off the government, and he's never really belonged anywhere. And you would think that he'd be grateful to belong at Lucasfilm. But what he did is he walked in there and then shit all over it. I'm sure he looked at what George was trying to do and was, jealous of him. But again, you got to understand, people like Pablo is a Maoist, and in this sense, and he's trying to change the past, disappear what was there, and replace it with something else, which is what the Cultural Revolution was about. When you have a communist, I had an avowed communist professor back in 1992 who I got into an argument with. She was teaching Chinese history. I did not want to take that class. I am not interested in Asian history at all, only through the long lens of how it affected us during World War II and the Korean War. I have lived in Asia. As you guys know, I spent 2 years in Seoul, South Korea. 2 years, I can't get back. It was interesting. I'd like to go visit again. But as far as wanting to live there, not anymore. No. Look, it's very interesting, but for someone who's immersed in American culture and Western culture, I really had a hard time adjusting. I really, really, really did. It was really difficult for me and you're right. He always did have it. Don't bother me look. And the reason why is because Dave Filoni wasn't using any of his ideas, I'm sure. I know a lot of people have a hard on to go after Filoni, but, we've been told he doesn't go into Lucasfilm anymore. He hangs out filming with Jon Favreau. Okay? He has gone on to, producing the animated stuff, but he doesn't go into Lucasfilm proper. Okay? I think, Filoni, I think, is one of those guys who, sorry, is one of those guys that just wants to do what he wants to do. And I think he knows a lot more about Star Wars than pretty much Pablo could ever imagine, because Filoni actually stopped and listened to what George had to say. And that's a pretty big deal. Okay, that's a pretty big deal. And I don't see him and Pablo getting along. You can be a Democrat and a quote unquote that kind of liberal, even though I don't like calling them liberals. They're not. They're leftists, and not be a dick. You don't have to be a dick to be that to believe in that shit. Okay, everybody knows that. Oh, are they telling you to get one? Yeah, I gotta schedule mine. My husband had to get his, and he took the Pfizer vaccine. He got both shots, and he seems to be doing okay. I mean, he hasn't come in looking like Lurch or anything, and he seems like he's doing okay. The night of the second injection, he did get the chills for a little bit, for like 20 minutes. I'm just gonna have to call him, set it up. Anyway, but this was a big information dump. Like I said, there was a lot I don't think is true, wrapped up with a lot that is true, which is what happens, which is what people do, not to necessarily throw you off the trail, but to protect themselves, if you understand. So I think the stuff with Phoebe Waller-Bridge might not be true. I'm not sure. I give it a 50-50 because I really think that the straw that broke the camel's back was well, you may have to get it. You may have to get it, okay? I don't want to get it either. In fact, I told my husband, I go, you know, I don't get the flu vaccine because it's never about the flu that's running around currently. Yeah, he does have to protect his sources. So he might be doing the Phoebe Waller-Bridge thing just to, throw people off the scent. But the stuff with the acolyte, I believe. I said it. I said it. We don't know. It's quote unquote in development, and as far as I can tell, it's not in development anymore. They're not. If he's right, they're canceling it, and they're probably canceling Children of Blood and Bone. She can go with it. Okay. Yeah, and I think that's partly you're right. But yeah, it's not gonna happen. I mean, all right, here's the deal. I had a debate. Let's talk about Ryan Johnson. Had a debate with someone who was like, well, Ryan Johnson's trilogy's still listed on StarWars.com, blah, blah, blah. And, and, I don't hear anything official coming from Lucasfilm, from Disney. The only person talking about Ryan Johnson's trilogy is Ryan Johnson. And they're not going to spend the money on him. He is not going to direct an episode of Mandalorian. I would really, really, really love it if you guys would hit the likes on this. That would really make me incredibly happy. And I would really appreciate it. So the whole thing with him getting a trilogy is just it's ridiculous. It is absolutely horrendously hysterically funny. I don't see it happening. Maybe it will, but I don't see it. You know, I don't. I can't imagine them saying, "Oh, fine, we'll give this guy a trilogy." You know, so I don't see it happening. It just everything is coming to a head. This latest information dump that Doomcock put out there was really fascinating, in my opinion. I normally, I'm excited. Yeah, you can film it and put it on YouTube, so everybody else does. Maybe 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 Star Wars Theory could hire him so he could finish the Mace Windu thing or the Vader thing. It, you know, yeah, you're right. You're right. His weird cult fans. It's not going to happen. Again, it's a question of money, and people on both sides don't understand that you can't just fund this thing and think it's going to go anywhere. All right, you've got to have a want for it. There has to be a desire in the audience for it, and the audience isn't there. I mean, I'm sorry, but Raylo's screaming bad, bad, are not an audience that's going to be there for anything. They weren't even there for what they said they loved. All right, the general Star Wars audience doesn't like him. We don't like him. No, they can't. And I think a lot of people in the fandom menace don't realize this. The money, I mean, I'm not a financial person, but when I started really examining all of this stuff and I talked to my own financial advisor, I talked to other ones, of course, Valiant Renegade, that's what he does for a living. Mexican Iron Man does the same thing. When you have them talking about what the investors look for, what the problem is with Disney stocks, with Star Wars being a drag on all of Disney brands, it's a pretty big deal. It's a pretty damn big deal. If if you're an investor, if you have money, no, they're not earning anything. Nothing is turning a profit right now. And the idea that they're going to turn around and give that pipsqueak his own trilogy, or oh, excuse me, oh, give that pipsqueak his own trilogy, or let him direct a Mandalorian episode is ridiculous. They know his name is Mud. They do. They know people hate him. People hate him. People don't want him around. It's simple as that. And so that rumor about him going to Filoni that he spread himself is like this. You gotta remember, Rian Johnson doesn't care if he lies. Okay? He doesn't care. He has no fucks to give if he lies. Okay? He's lied about everything continuously. No, he's not worth the lint in Disney's pockets. And I think they know that. I think they're aware of it. And now you've got this rumor about the Acolyte not going anywhere and basically being shut down. Even being taken out of development. You've got you've got other things that she was doing being taken away from her. If Jon Favreau has carte blanche to do whatever he wants, and she's now saying, okay, John, I'll support John in taking Star Wars, taking over Lucasfilm, it's over. She's, Cameron's right. She's trying to get people to appreciate her again and win her allies back. She's trying to get back that idea that she was somebody one day, a long time ago. And I think it's pretty sad, in my opinion. I really, really do. It's a sad state of affairs. I haven't seen him do any press in a while. But those guys are very serious. Those guys are extremely serious. I gotta scratch my back. And they're very dedicated, I think, to what they're doing. I don't think Filoni would be comfortable doing any press. Favreau, I don't think he cares. I think he'd be a great face for Lucasfilm going forward. He's a nice guy. He's a good guy. He's a fun guy to listen to. He understands the fandom because he is a fan. And I think everybody gets along with him. I think it was Katie Sackhoff, or maybe it was Gina. Every morning before filming, he'd be on the set and he'd give him a talk. And that is awesome. Yeah, they're very focused. And meanwhile, you've got Pablo hiding behind a protected account. I'm just waiting for that shoe to fall. And I really think it's going to fall. I really think it's going to fall soon, too. This whole thing with the phones being turned in so they can, be looked at to see what apps people are using. This is a big deal. And I believe it happened because they went silent for over a week. Now, I'm going to tell you this, and I've said it before, but I'll say it again. Maybe You know, maybe I imagined I said it before. The story group doesn't see it coming. They don't see that the end is nigh. Okay. They don't understand that they are the ones in big trouble right now. Okay. They don't get it. I'm going to put you guys over here. Hello. And let's go and see what's going on over on Star Wars Twitter, just to see what's happening. But I do have to admit that I do think that the turning in of phones and examination and examining a lot of what apps people are using as a direct result of rewriting Ripley. I just, that's my gut on that. Okay, I don't think it has anything to do with anything else. So let's see. Matt Martin Twitter. Mything words. He's retweeting stuff. It is what? It's the 21st of April. He hasn't. I was talking to Peter Soretta. Um, uh, they're talking about that stupid bounty hunter comic that's coming out. But yeah, everything. He's just been retweeting. Mostly. All right, let's go to Man Ray Sky, Pablo's little wife. Damn it. I wonder why she calls herself that. All right. She's talking to Adam Lance Garcia. They're bitching. All right, I'll show you. I can't remember if this was her thing, but I want to show you this. She just put that back up. Okay, that was not her cover for a while. She just put that back up. I find that interesting. You don't get to hate it unless you love it. Okay, so we hate what you've done to Star Wars. Your husband is a dickhead because of what he's done to Star Wars in a Lucasfilm. And but we don't get to hate it. Well, we love it. You just said we get to hate it because we love it. We don't love that. We love Star Wars. We love it. We don't love this toxic version of virtue signaling SJW bullshit, which is what they did. Now, let's go to Star Wars channel and see what they're saying. Okay, Bad Batch. Let's see, tweets and replies. Yeah, they have not tweeted anything since, these guys have not tweeted anything since yesterday. Just, this Bad Batch thing was yesterday, and that's it. Okay, so there we go. That investigation's over. Now, I wish, beyond a reasonable anything, that Pablo would get back to having a public account, because if he did, then we could really see what was going on. It would be very interesting. But these guys don't. If these guys have any indication, they're not showing it. And to be honest, I don't think they understand what's about to happen to them. If this rumor is true, it's going to be really, it's going to be fantastic. What what's going to happen is they're going to be gone. They are going to be gone. And then Kennedy. That's in this. It can go one of two ways. And actually, this was the thing that I was really hoping for was for them to get fired first, and then her leaving on a float, and then Pablo getting blamed for everything, which hey, he earned that. He's earned that ridicule and mockery for what he's done to people. I mean, what he did to Gina in of itself is just terrible. I mean, it really, really is. I mean, I can't even begin to imagine, shit, why he would do such a thing. But then I remember it's Pablo Hidalgo, and that is his stock and trade. And that is his stock and trade. So, but yeah, I give the rumor about Phoebe Waller-Bridge 50-50 on that. I give everything else about 100%. Okay, because again, like I said, Harrison Ford's talked a lot about Indy 5. He doesn't not want to do Indy 5. Okay, it wasn't him that walked away, it was Spielberg. And the reason why it wasn't the cucking of Indy, it was because of what happened with George. Because remember, Indy belongs to George. Indy was his guy. I mean, he was talking about him when Star Wars came out, and asked, Spielberg said he wanted to direct a James Bond movie, and they started talking about Indiana Jones. And, that whole story is interesting, how they put it all together. But Indiana Jones as a character was in development since the early 70s. I mean, Lucas was doing Star Wars, developing those characters, and Indiana Jones. He was developing the entire Star Wars universe while developing Indy's universe. Think about how cool that is. Okay. Anyway, I gotta go. My voice is dying right now, and I do want to get a workout in. I wanted to get a walk in, and it's windy. It got real cold out. It's like 48 degrees. I'm like, are you kidding me? But it looks to me like people are getting snow, like in Missouri. But does anybody have any questions, or, because I can stay on a few more minutes. This is just a great, yet another interesting information dump. Okay, this is, come back here if you're going to go watch him, and, see what you think. Yeah, well, we got a little rain, and then all of a sudden it got cold. It was nice this morning. Anyway, all right, I'll see you guys later. I'm going to work out. Y'all be good. See you around the galaxy. and I think Yub Nub is coming.